Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be all about my review and first impressions of my new Schmincke Horadam watercolor palette that I made a couple weeks back. I'm going to ask for forgiveness on the voice. I'm still sick. In fact, it is you know what. I finally got it after all this time for the first time. So my voice is still a little bit shot, but I still wanted to record anyway, so here we are. So to start things off, as a reminder, this palette is a custom palette. It was picked with colors that I chose myself. So it's not quite a full palette yet, but it's enough to get me started to get my first impressions and see what I feel like I'm missing. And my picture for today is going to be this, well, it's hard to see because I've erased most of the graphite, but it's a picture of Winnie the Pooh on a chair eating honey. And there's some honey pots all around. We'll see it a little bit better as I start to add color. Now, I don't really have a reference to go off of, so I'm just going to kind of wing this one, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to Future Me, and she's going to walk you through the process as I begin. Hello everyone, Future Me here to talk about the Schmincke paints. I have lots of good things to say, maybe a few, not quite negatives, but downers to talk about. And this is a first impressions video, so I would like to, in the future, paint more things with these paints and get a fuller, better idea where I'll do a full out swatch and review as I add more colors. Look forward to that maybe around November, December. I want to wait till I have a better camera set up other than this webcam on my regular computer desk. I have been working on a special area that I can actually use my real DSLR camera at, and that would look a lot better and have a much better quality of video. So look forward to that in the future. That said, let's talk about the paints for a little bit. The first thing I have to say is either, in this case, using both yellows, the PY3, which was smooth in its consistency, re-wet perfectly, but so did the PY65. I think it's Hansa Yellow and Hansa Yellow Deep, if I'm not mistaken. It kind of had like a more toothpastey, thicker consistency, and even it re-wet like a dream. So consistency of the two paint didn't matter. It still re-wet perfectly. Loved it. Normally I spray my palette with a little mister, but I wanted to test it out with just the brush, and it was perfect, and I loved it. So pass my little test there. I'll still probably miss them when I use them in the future, but I wanted to test brush wetting for this one. The colors are soft and you can really build them up to a bright intensity, which I really liked. So I started light on Pooh Bear here and worked my way up to slightly darker consistency, more rich, brighter. I was surprised at the browns, just how pigmented they were, and I went with transparent browns because I wasn't looking for granulation in this. I don't think I got a single granulating color really when I picked these colors out. And that's just because I already have my Daniel Smith palette that granulates. So I kind of wanted to try something a little bit different and pick non-granulating colors, which is good because I need more varied things in my collection than that. They were a dream to work with. I loved how they flowed on the paper and how I could control them very easily. Adding layers was no problem at all. I didn't try lifting as much as I wanted to. I did little spots here and there where I did a little lifting and moving, and I had no trouble with those spots. But overall, I kind of kept things fairly even and worked from there. I will say, if I want to give some negatives, it's not even actually the paints themselves that would be the negatives. I'd say they are a bit of a splurge at the price point because they are a German brand. So if you live outside of Europe in the United States, like say I do, they're gonna be a little on the pricey side. Thankfully, I got these on sale at Jackson's, which I highly recommend keeping an eye out for another sale if this is something that interests you and you'd like to get some Schmincke paints of your own. Definitely try Jackson's and definitely try waiting for a sale if you're not in a hurry. So that would fix that problem, if you even want to call that a problem in itself. But yeah, no, the colors that I used were beautiful. I didn't use the whole palette, so I didn't touch any of the blues really. I tried to get some different colors in there with the pots, later on I used a green, the olive green I picked out. I used some reds for his shirt. There goes the red right now. Yeah, so I got to play around with most of the palette. I definitely like to maybe do something like with a sky or a sea so I can bring out those blues and test those blues in the future. I'm so excited to do this swatch with me video. It's like, it's so hard to wait, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to get in there and do a swatch with me video, but I gotta wait for that camera. I do. Be strong. If you'd like to leave a comment down below, letting me know that you're excited for a further review of Schmincke and getting into a swatch with me video, leave a comment down below saying maybe what type of paints you want to see in that. Maybe I'll consider picking up a few more. And if you're liking the video so far, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We're a new channel here, so really appreciate everyone joining me in on my little art journey here. It makes me smile each time I see that number go up just a little bit. And thanks for everyone who has come along on the journey so far. But yeah, here we're painting out the honey. It was hard to kind of tone it because it's everywhere I looked, like online at random images, had the honey just a little more lighter yellow than Pooh himself, but it was hard to translate that into the paint. But I think I did a good enough job that it feels slightly different. That's me realizing I forgot a little red spot of his shirt. But I have to say this was a fun painting, and I think my favorite favorite part of the painting was actually the pots, hence why I'm trying to say pot early. Because I kind of just had fun with them. I didn't really have much reference to go off of. This was just a coloring book page that my daughter accidentally tore out of her coloring book that I held on to because I thought it looked cute. So that's where I got the image from, so it has no color reference. So for the pots, I just kind of looked at a few images online and kind of winged it, really. So I didn't have like a direct reference. So I just had fun with it. I think the favorite one is the little green pot here. I used some of the olive green and some of the other greens to tone it out. And excuse me, I still have a little bit of a cough, so I had to edit that out. But yeah, the green pot is probably my favorite. That green mixed up beautifully and it looks gorgeous. Most of these are single pigments that I picked up. I believe only 1 or 2 have multiple pigments in them, and other than that, they're all single pigments, so they all blended beautifully together and played nice with each other. And yeah, I think that basically about wraps things up. We're finishing up the painting here. It's still a little hard to see with the lines, and unfortunately I'm not very steady with my hand when it comes to doing line work with a brush, so I tend to go for a pen to line my work, which you'll see shortly. But that'll wrap things up when I start the pen work, and it'll really make the image pop and stand out. But I got pretty much everything else done in paint, darkening up the little centers of the pots and stuff like that. Then yeah, I've got the little black spots and stuff that I got for his nose and his eyes I did in paint, but I wasn't feeling the steady hand enough to try the brush, so time to go digging for that brush pen, which I use the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I have them in black, white, brown, walnut brown, I believe specifically, and 2 shades of gray, both a cool gray and a warm gray, that I use to line work like this, and I find it works out pretty well. As you can see, the definition now of everything is really starting to pop and give it that storybook feel about it. And that's another thing I really liked about the paints, is it lent itself really well to the choice of being storybook-esque with the way the colors dried and the way they look, so A+ there. But honestly, that about wraps things up. We'll finish things out here with the line art, and I guess if you're excited for new content, new videos, like I said, subscribe, like, comment down below what you want to see next in a video. If you want more art hauls, if you want more tutorials, if you want more reviews, you let me know. And I guess until the next one, take care and have a good one. Bye for now, guys.